Thanks a lot, TJ. Now, social media has been an influential tool for many campaigns around the world. Tapping that potential, a Twitter festival is going local in cities around the world to help raise funds and awareness for various efforts, including education. Let's watch this.
An idea begins with a single tweet. Soon that idea spreads as it passes from one to another. Now the idea becomes a movement. A movement that has the power to make things happen. A schoolhouse in a remote land. Books for young girls. Clean water in arid deserts. This is Twestival. It's the way an idea spreads around the world and comes back 5 times its strength. A local chapter gains the power of an entire community. A township rallies to form a global movement. The problems of a globe are easy to spot, and no place on Earth is ignored. The world is flat, and we can see as far as the horizon. Join the power of Twestival. It happens one day every year. The simplest way to empower you and your idea to help others.
Well, we're now joined by Marga Diona, PR head of Twestival Manila 2011, Twestival event organizer Roswan, and Jeepney founder Erica Pineda. Ladies, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us this morning so early.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
It's an honor.
Well, okay, it's coming up in just a couple of days. The very first Twestival that the country is going to experience. Tell us how this idea came about, where it really kind of came from in general.
Well, Twestival started in London in 2009. Amanda Rose founded it, and ever since they've been trying to find a global cause to help. So they asked cities around the world to help raise funds, and it just goes to this one cause. But for the first time in this year, 2011, they've decided to go local. So each city is asked to look for its own cause that they could support.
Okay, I see. So it's kind of just a celebration, a huge celebration of big Twitter followers or advocates of social media.
Yes.
Who gets involved in Twestival?
Well, you see, in the Philippines, we've had a series of tweet-ups or where people from Twitter all over, they get to meet to just either make new friends or network.
But hindi ako naiimbita doon. I haven't got to.
Well, you're invited to this Thursday.
Oh, so there are tweet-ups that happen all the time?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Almost monthly.
Really?
For the past year.
I learned a little something. Maybe that's something good to do.
We'll
on
invite you,
Thursday.
don't worry.
Okay, I feel totally left out, guys. I'm just kidding.
But you
go
know what?
on, go ahead.
Twestival Manila is going to be the first of its kind where apart from having the regular tweet up where we meet and network and get to know new people, it will be for a worthy cause, which is somewhat related to social media. We chose our foundation, Jeepney, because of its ties with social media.
And technology in general, and using that to educate the youth. Now, Erica, you are one of the partners of Jeepney, and you were telling me a little bit before we got on air how the idea came about. It's fairly new. The foundation is fairly new, and why is this the way that you feel like you can really reach out and help the youth?
So Jeepney, first of all, is a mobile science and tech lab. It runs on used vegetable oil and solar panels, and it's for public schools in rural areas of the Philippines. We're really trying to develop science in the country. We're actually the second to the last. So in a study done in 2003, the science achievement of the Philippines was very, very low. We were 44, I believe, out of 45 countries. And that's very alarming. We think that science is a form of, learning about your world.
It's a way for huge countries and for maybe not necessarily first world countries, but to really, if the countries that have used science have really progressed rapidly. So that could be an open opportunity for us, as you were saying. So I mean, it has been, science is kind of a way to a means in your eyes. And how do you think technology will play a part in promoting science and making and improving it in the country, I guess, science education?
I mean, you see all of these universities online now. You can go on on different sites and learn about anything from, you know, making a veggie oil engine to like, that's our video right there, but we raised all of our money, or the money for the Jeep, online, and you can do that now with technology.
The power of online and technology. I mean, going back to, you know, Twitter, it's really kind of a phenomenon that's been, of course, global, but here in the country, it kind of, I feel like it went, you know, Facebook, and now all of a sudden kind of everyone is on Twitter, and I mean, I get showbiz stories all the time on Twitter. You find out so much just kind of going through. I mean, I know Paolo knows that there's so much learned through, you know, kind of stalking on Twitter.
Well, breaking news happens on Twitter all the time.
Breaking news, and, you know, just kind of like the inside story, you can really piece together a lot. Now, Twitter users, it makes Twitter users kind of very much one, but there is also I call it a misconception, or maybe a perception, that Twitter is medyo social, you know, versus the other ways of social media. I don't know how that kind of picked up, but, you know, it's kind of an ongoing joke sometimes. That person isn't on Twitter, they're on something else that has been around for a little bit longer. Why do you think people have that perception of Twitter, and how do you want to work against it to have more people be part of the Twestival?
Well, the thing with Twitter is that apart from Facebook and other forms of social media, is that it's the very epitome of the dynamic interplay between science, technology, and society. And with how, I think, the very limit of Twitter, the 140 character limit, very much challenges the user to limit his or her thoughts, condense it to 140 characters. And for
but you can always tweet again.
Which you can say continued.
I'm like, okay, but go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, but you're right. I mean, there are times that I really am like, I have to be concise. What is my point?
And you're pressured to be witty.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But you are. So
maybe that's the basis of the elitism.
But I mean, do you think that really does exist?
Not really.
I think at the start, because of access to technology, because for Twitter, a lot of people use it on smartphones, and you have to have this unlimited surf plans and all these things. But as the days go by, I mean, the plans are getting cheaper, the phones are being more accessible, and a lot of people are really getting on it. So I think it's just in terms of adapting to the technology, but I think the lines are being blurred now.
So maybe some people who have always kind of wanted to be a Twitter user, kind of in the Twitter scheme of things, can definitely come and be part of the Twestival and not feel intimidated,
and
right?
not just
what do you guys
people
have
on
planned?
Twitter. Everyone else is invited.
Okay, so even if you don't have a Twitter account, you can come and join.
We will not ostracize you.
So what are some of the things that people can look forward to at the Twestival?
Oh, well, we have a lot of friends and companies that are helping, that are supporting, that are sponsoring the Twestival Manila, such as San Miguel, Divoom, Millie, and other brands.
Bella Roca even.
Well, so is it going to be a huge, big party now? Where we're looking at the time and the date. That's on March 24th at 8 p.m. Now, when people go on and log on to find out more stuff about it, I mean, will there be performances? Just, I mean, you mentioned San Miguel. Is there going to be just unlimited booze, or?
Well, aside from the drinks, TJ has actually agreed to host the event, so we're publicizing that now.
Great.
So we're inviting all of you.
Just kidding. I'm totally
oh,
teasing.
come on! All
totally
four of
teasing.
you should be there.
I'm totally teasing. No, I actually am a big fan of Twitter. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but I'm a big fan of it.
It happens to the best of us.
Now, I think you guys have to be quite creative in the way that you guys are going to throw the very first ever Twestival. You have a significant, well, there's significance to the number, I guess, but you have a 140,000 peso budget. You know, I mean, I think for most people who throw parties these days, I mean, big festivals at least, you kind of go over that budget. But I think you guys have been very creative in doing.
Well, we do have to sell tickets for the event, and 100% of all ticket sales will be going to Jeep Need.
So it's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause. So response to the ticket price has been very good. We'll be selling tickets at the door. You can buy tickets online. We've also been receiving donations online and from friends who are just calling, we like your cause, we're giving you this much. So far we might actually get there.
Well, why do you think people should really kind of, you know, take part in Twestival? I guess I'll just ask you guys individually, whether it be for, meeting people or kind of just being introduced to the social media realm. Why do you think, what is the most important reason why they should kind of head out and do it?
Okay, I could think of two very important reasons. One, it would be a great opportunity for you to build a network and meet a lot of new people from various industries. And number two, it would be a good thing also to have fun, network, have some food and drinks, and
You're
actually
right.
help the cause.
You make a great point about networking. I think a lot of times, people kind of think of social media as a way to find a date or to find, kind of a relationship. I don't know if I'm the only one with that perception, but it is a great way to meet people that could possibly be possibly open doors for a new career, a new job, different opportunities that are out there. And so Twitter is a great way to do that. I think those are two great points. Any other reasons why people should take part of Twestival?
Well, you're going to fund a magic school bus for the Philippines. I think that's a pretty good reason to come.
That's a great reason.
Yeah, and just to learn about Jeepney and young people like us can do great things now with social media, with technology. So I think that people should come out and learn.
And I'm just going to butt in a little bit because I think I failed to make the point earlier, just to really clarify. It's a magic school bus because, and please tell us about that magic school bus. I used to watch that cartoon and
my favorite
have the book. I love that cartoon. Tell us about your magic school bus.
So it's going to have laptops, internet connectivity, 500 times microscopes. We're going to have hands-on curriculum, so it doesn't want to replace school and science class. It wants to augment it and make it better.
That's awesome. And this is the school bus that's going to go to rural public schools in different parts of the country, or first kind of around in Luzon.
We want to go around Luzon first, just because we're based in Manila, and Shayna and I will be relocating there, but it would be good to be near Manila. And
well, that's definitely good. I want to get on this magic school bus. Does it fly also, like the cartoon?
I wish.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year.
I loved it when it flew, and then it would kind of go in people's mouths, and you could all of a sudden get out an entire biology lesson when the school bus is in the stomach. Anyways.
So great.
All right, and well, guys, it's really a pleasure. If you can invite our viewers one last time to please take part in Twestival.
Be a part of history. Please join us for Twestival Manila. It's going to be on March 24, 8 p.m. in Le Bistro Vert. That's in Valera Street in Makati.
All right, well, let's shut it down. Thank you so much, Margot, Ross, and Erica. Good luck and have a great time. We'll see you at Twestival.